Yo, what's cracking? Multiplier here. Today, show you a quick little video, quick little tip, and it's all about how to make weird alien textures in Ableton Live. You can do it all within Ableton, and yeah, it's a cool little technique I kind of made up myself. I'm sure other people will do it too. But yeah, you can kind of create really unique sounds that sound out of this world. Pun. Yeah, pretty quickly and easily. So yeah, I'll show you some examples. So what about, yeah, Baby Transformer? Or Space Crickets. Preparing for takeoff. Let's try, I don't know, electric field. And yeah, one more for jokes, alien eating breakfast. Pretty rad, right? So you can see some of the potential for using this technique. And yeah, it's quite a straightforward thing too. So the basic idea is you take a bit of sound, ideally something like a live recording, and then you stretch it out and do some very basic processing to it. So in terms of the live recording bit, now you can use a sample from a sample pack or something, or you can record something yourself. Or what I've been doing is basically downloading a bunch of kind of free public domain sounds. So that's sounds that you can do whatever you want with. They're in the public domain, copyright free and all that stuff. That some other people have kind of recorded nicely, and then kind of using those. So we've got a few here, as you can see in this list. You've got stuff like elevator door, car, garage, ticket, automate, barrier, electric pencil sharpener. So just kind of different sort of sounds basically. So just to show you one of them maybe, I don't know, car stereo tape deck. So you see, it's just kind of like a live recording. And the cool thing about that is there's a lot of kind of complexity in it because it's a live recording and there's a lot going on. And that way we don't have to program in tons and tons of really complicated complexity ourselves, which is what we would have to do if we were synthesizing the sound. So yeah, let's use that as an example. So let's delete what we've currently got in there. Car stereo tape deck. And then yeah, so in fact what I'll do is I'll take off the processing. So now we've got, say, car stereo tape deck. What you want to do is something like stretch it out a bit. So we'll head down here to the warp kind of mode bit. And then we'll hit the ×2 button, which will kind of stretch it out a bit. We might need to kind of make the clip a bit longer as well. I don't know, something like over here. And then, I don't know, let's see how that sounds by itself. And then we might need to change the warp mode just to kind of see what it sounds like. Yeah, it sounds a bit boring. So let's change the warp mode down here to texture. That's normally quite good for the kind of alien-y sort of spaceship noise. So down to texture, and let's see what it sounds like now. Potential, let's stretch it out more. Except I'm thinking maybe let's change this transpose knob as well to give it some more kind of character. Cool. And then we'll just make it a bit shorter. So we've got a nice little bit of character going on here. I'll just play it for you again. Kind of sounds a bit alien-y, and we'll put some fades in. So we'll just go over to this bit over here if you haven't seen fades before. Click it, click fades, and then we've got these kind of fade marker things here, which we can just kind of do a click and a drag, and that'll kind of automate the volume in this lovely little curvy way. Curvies are coolies. And again. except it sounds a bit kind of lifeless at the moment. So what we're going to do is make it sound a bit thicker and fuller and kind of give it a bit of space first of all. So one way I've been doing that quite easily is with the plugin called Dimension Expander. So it's a free plugin from Steve Duda on a Zephyr Records. Basically uses the Dimension Expander from Native Instruments Massive and kind of giving it out for free. So it's a nice way of adding a bit of space to it. So I'll play it for you once and then I'll add the Dimension Expander and you'll hear the difference. See, it sounds like a bit bigger and stuff. Pretty cool. But what we need to do is, because it's obviously kind of in space and shit and it's alieny, we're going to add a bit of reverb. So I happen to know that, I know the Ableton reverbs pretty well. I know a reverb that works quite well for this particular thing is Wooden Hall, which is a pretty cool reverb. We'll add that in and then, oops, got to change the settings. Dry wet. Maybe make the decay time a bit bigger as well. Pretty cool. You get the idea. You got kind of alieny sort of sound. Now that was pretty basic kind of processing. You can imagine if you take a little bit more time over it, choose your sample correctly, dial in the settings, you can really make some cool sounds. Another quick little tip you can do is, if say you want a bit of low end, but you also want a bit of top end, you can say duplicate out the channels, and then on one of them, you change the, what's it called, the transpose knob. Do a different one to the other one. So it's on 7, let's put it down to like, I don't know, 6 or 4. Pretty cool, you get the idea. That's a pretty mediocre sound, but that's just the basic idea. You heard some of the other sounds you can make if you spend a bit more time on it. So yeah, that's nice little short video. Hopefully giving you some kind of inspiration to experiment a bit. Yeah, you can do quite a lot in Ableton, and a few other things you might want to try. Depends what plugins you got really, but just keep kind of processing the sound. Remember, you don't need to synthesize all your own sounds. You can just take a sample, stretch it out, and then make it into your own. And yeah, public domain sounds are a pretty good way of doing that, while not violating copyright as well, if you care about that stuff. But yeah, cool stuff. I've been Multiplier. There's a quick little tip for you. Didn't make any Skrillex jokes, so professional. Brilliant. Right, done.